Alright guys, we got the machine set up. It's a little chattery, if you can hear it. What's pretty cool about this is that I don't have to have it connected to the coil. I can have it sitting right next to us, so the speaker will be right here. I have it set up to 0 disc, 90 sensitivity. If I change it anymore, it's way chattier than what you already hear, so it's not terribly bad. 17.6 frequency, iron volume 0, reactivity 0, silencer 0, audio response 4, notch 0, disc 0. So it's pretty cranked up, it's pretty hot right now. As you can hear, it is pretty chattery. So gotta kind of keep my camera away from it actually. So I got the standard suspects here. Copper penny, zinc penny, dime, nickel quarter, silver ring. This is the silver ring that Deus found actually, gold ring, and the little BB. So let's go ahead and get it started here at 17.9 kilohertz. Here is the copper penny. I'm in full tone mode. So we can hear that clear out to about 15 inches. Not bad. Zinc. It's going quite a bit further. To about 16. I'm doing it till I can't hear it with the chatter. I got it in full tone mode right now. I could probably go to a different mode, I guess. So you can really hear the... I'll go to two-tone maybe so we can really hear the beat. Yeah, it's going to blend in no matter what the tone is, so we'll just leave it at full tones. Alright, so the dime, smallest coin here. That's 12 and a half. 15. I'm still hearing little pops at 15, 15 and a half before it breaks into the chatter of the EMI. Sorry about the EMI, there's nothing I could do about it. I give every detector an in the garage test with running lights and everything to see how it handles it. So it is a little bit chattery, but it is up to 90, which is pretty high on this. And as you can see, it's going well past the foot marker on an air test. Fabulous results so far. So here's a nickel. Quite loud at a foot. 16, 18, so about 18 is where it really starts to break up. 18, 19 inches, quarter. About 16, 17 before. Yeah, 16, 17 before that one starts to break up. Gold 10K women's band. No problem at a foot. 16, still hear it. Yeah, 16 or so is when I start to lose it. Silver ring. This is the ring that Deus found. Still hearing it at 15, 16. And last but not least, the little BB. See what we get with this sucker. I'm interested here. Oh, there's that low tone you get from little iron like this. Steel BB. Pretty good at 3. Wow. 4, 5, 6. Wow, out to like 6, 7 inches. That's crazy. That's crazy good. Super good. Okay, so here's the problem. The guy that sent this to me, Loco Digger's like, I can't wait to see air tests with all 4 frequencies. Well, that's not really going to happen because as soon as I go to the other frequencies, listen, we're at 17.6. Listen here. That's 11.8. There's 7.9. A little better. And 4. Which are just craziness. So we'll go to 7.9. And we're just going to have to bump the sensitivity down to like 80. And we'll just see what happens here. Alright, turn the speaker up, side up like that so that you guys can hear it. Let's go with the dime. So similar results here. Way out to 16, 17 inches. Nickel. Same thing. 16, 17 inches. Quarter. 15, 16. Not quite as far as the nickel on the quarter. And I've seen some, and this machine too, it hits quarters really good in the ground. So kind of surprising there. Had troubles with nickels with this machine. I'll explain more when we get into the test part. Zinc. Same thing. 15, 16 inches. Copper. 14, 15, 16. Silver ring. 14. Gold ring. 14. Pretty good. Well past a foot on all of these. Pretty nice stuff. BB. About 4 or 5 inches or so at 7.9. So, all right. So there's not really, and that's TX Power 3 I'm doing on all of these. There's no real stable way for me to go 11.8 or 4 without just bumping it way down. So sorry, Loco Digger, on that. It's just impossible. But as you guys could see here, I'm going to turn it off for just a second so it's not chattering. Set it up differently for the recovery speed test here and a nail board type test, unmasking test. So as you can see, very, very good on depth. I mean, we were getting average 14 to 17 range on all of these objects except for the BB, of course. So on a coin size object here in the United States, air testing, you're looking at 14 to 17. And I gotta be honest, people are pulling those types of things in the ground at like 12, 14 inches on quarters with this machine. So you don't lose a lot of depth in decent soil with this machine. Real curious to see how it handles my backyard soil. That is some of the worst soil I've ever encountered metal detecting. So all this right here, I've been using the machine about 80 hours now. 90 hours, and I have not air tested it. I was expecting a lot of chatter, and sure enough I got it, but I'm not going to take it outside to air test it in the outside. I give all detectors, I either do it inside of my kitchen or out here in the garage. Chatter is just about the same as far as EMI in my garage or in my kitchen. So all detectors get a fair shake. They just have to deal with the chatter basically and get adjusted to that. So, but really good results, 14 to 17. I mean, without the chatter, I could have bumped it up to 99. TX Power was at 3, and I probably could have got faint little whispers at like 18, 19 inches, maybe even out to 20 if we're dreaming. So freaking awesome. I love this detector. Gosh, I wish it wasn't $1,200. You get what you pay for, right? You get what you pay for. So let's bust out a quick recovery speed test and some unmasking real quick. And then we're going to take it outside where it really matters. The outside dirt in the test garden from hell. Alright, got the sensitivity bumped down to about 60 now, so it's not quite so jumpy. We're going to look at recovery speed. So there's the ring, the dime, the quarter, and the penny. All 4 of the high conductors there. No zinc, gold, anything. Although it does well if you put, ID jumps in there as well. But let's listen to it here. Reactivity is at 2, where I usually run it. Move them a little closer. It's pretty close. I mean, for an 11-inch coil, that's pretty close. Let's see. crazy fast. Crazy fast. Let's go closer. Most big coils fail this close, something like that. It's a little too close. So getting a little bit of trouble there. Let's bump it up. Reactivity to 3, 4. There we go. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Well, there it is, guys. I mean, that is craziness. So there's your recovery speed. Pretty damn fast. So here we have a nail. Here we have another nail. I'm not going to do Monty's test. I'm just kind of going to do my own thing here. With a couple nails. Let's make sure they are disced out. As you can see, nothing on them. A little pop here and there. So we're at disc 10 right now. Let's go ahead and put that copper in there. Now that's closer than Monty's test. So let's see if we even get a hit on it at all. Absolutely. And look at the ID. It's only like, is right on the money. 91 right there. Usually a penny's 91, 92, and it is right on the money. Let's go down the pipe, see if we can find it there. It's pretty hard this close. Nope, nothing. Even the Deus can't really find a penny running a long ways on a nail like that. And like I said, they are really close. So damn good. The ID hardly wavers at all. That is very impressive. So let's try it with just one like this. And as you can see down the pipe, it does not like that at all, which is why you should always be swinging both directions on your grid patterns, north-south, and then go back on your grid and go east-west as well. Because with the big DD coils like this, they will mask stuff no matter how good the detector is. Maybe the 9-inch could uncover that, I don't know. But pretty damn good on recovery speed. I got a third nail here. We'll kind of break it out, kind of like Monty's test here, where there's a couple, they're about, that far on his test roughly. About like that, so maybe even a little bit, yeah, about like that. So let's see what we get here. Let's walk a circle. So as you can see, it does pretty good. Only certain angles really fool it, and this is the big 11-inch coil. The 9-inch coil, from what I understand, is just an unmasking monster. And this one, I mean, I don't relic hunt much, so I kind of take these tests with a grain of salt. Yeah, I haven't built anything where the nails are higher than the coin. I know it's pretty tough for that too. So, but all around, most detectors, from what I see, will pass Monty's nail board test on tone. It's just ID that it really, really struggles with. I mean, my Land Ranger Pro, the Ace 400, even some of the old Bounty Hunter, my son's Bounty Hunter, the Gold Digger, and my daughter's Bounty Hunter Junior, they pass it 8 of 8 directions. It doesn't matter where you're swinging, it will pick up the coin being tone only. So I know Tesoro machines really do well on tests like this. It's the digital machines, I think, that struggle just a little bit more, but this is one of the best unmaskers and best recovery speed detectors in the world, so it'll pass this test no problem if you have it set up correctly. Like I said, I'm only 80 hours in, so take all my tests with a grain of salt. I'm sure if I fiddle with the settings, right now I'm at reactivity 2 or 4, so let's bump it down to 2. I'm at silencer 0, -1, or I'm sorry, -1, so audio response 4, notch 0, disc up to 7 to take the nails out, sensitivity 60. Let's bump that up to 70. Get a little chatter, and then we'll bump the frequency up to 17.6 and see what we get here now. So it doesn't like that. When the reactivity went down, I definitely lost some angles there. And notice the ID's jumping a little more now at 17.6 with the reactivity up a little bit. The ID was going to like 75 right there as well. So let's play with the reactivity one more time. Where is it? We'll bump it all the way up. Let's bump it to 5, see what happens. Oh, now it even likes a long way on 5, on little bits. There's. That's a little bit closer than Monty's test. Like I said, I got them really packed on there. Monty's test fits on a big 8x11 piece of paper, so it's probably more like that, to be honest. And then there's a 4th nail in there as well, so that whiteout should have no problem. Yeah, every direction, no problem. So I'm trying to give it a little bit more brutality being the XP Deus. So there you can see on a test like Monty's nail board test or something with the nails, it's going to pass no problem. It's only when the nails get right up next to it real tight. So yeah, unmasking is pretty fantastic. Recovery speed is just off the chart. Really awesome. I will say, recovery speed, everybody says, oh, this is the fastest machine ever. It's the fastest in the world. I will put my $60 bounty hunter gold digger of my son's up against this any day. It will hit those 3 coins and that ring right there at that depth, or I mean at that distance apart, no problem. And I can swing it till my arm's going to fall off. This one actually got to kind of blur the signal a little bit. His will not blur at all. So anybody wants to put it, I'll show you in a video too. The bounty hunter gold digger will hang with the XP Deus. A $60 detector will hang with any detector on the market as far as recovery speed alone. And it passes this Monty's nail board test with unmasking. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying there are other detectors that are quite fast and unmask quite well with smaller coils. A little 7-inch coil on his, which makes all the difference in the world. But enough babbling about that. This is the XP Deus review. If you only had to pick one, obviously you're picking the XP Deus over a bounty hunter gold digger. So I just throwing that in there on the recovery speed. Somebody made a comment, you know, on the forum or something. Oh, it's the fastest recovery speed in the entire world of detecting. I don't know. I can't be throwing out claims like that unless you can back them up, and I don't think that the XP Deus can really back it up. I can get the signal to blur even at reactivity 4 or 5 compared to a $60 detector that will not blur the signal together. So anyways, enough about that nonsense. There it is. So we're looking at 16, 17 inches on targets, 14 to 17 roughly on air tests, unmasked pretty damn well. Recovery speed is excellent, I would say. So let's take it out in the backyard and get cracking. Well, here we are, guys. Some of the worst dirt in Colorado. So I got the, right above the coil there, you can see the little spots. I got the 5-inch dime, middle 5-inch nickel, to the left a 5-inch quarter. So as you can see, this is my backyard here. Here's my fence. Here's all my nastiness in my backyard, just like always. So this is my new permanent coin spot at 5 inches. Most detectors fail at 4 inches in my soil, so I'm giving this Deus an extra inch to work with. And I'll figure, you know, if detectors can hit these coins at 5 inches right here, I'm going to come spray paint them, these 3 coins, then it's worth the purchase, basically. So, I've already tested it before I hit record here. I cheated a little bit, of course, so we'll see what happens, alright? Right now I have it at disc 5. Let's see if we can make sure we're zoomed in on my hand here. Hopefully you can see here. Alright, so there it is, disc 5. We are running 4 tones just to hear the tone. Sensitivity 90. We'll go down, we're at 2 power. Frequency 17.6. Iron volume 0. Reactivity 3. We'll take it down to 2. And we'll take the silencer down to -1. Audio response 4, notch 0, so nothing is notched out, and disc is barely at 5 to get rid of the iron bits and stuff like that in my soil. So, alright, let's try to see what we get here. Some pretty maxed out settings there, pretty nice. Let's see, here is the 4-inch dime, or 5-inch dime, and I'm going to dig these live just to show you. So 5-inch dime. every once in a while little pops, but on the ID, nothing. Just a 1, and it's coming up ferrous, non-ferrous on the horseshoe. If you can see that, it's going back and forth, back and forth. So I'm going to call that a fail. On the dime, here's the nickel. And I can circle this nickel and get it. Rings up real high as a 94, so I'd probably dig that just because I thought it was a quarter. So 5 inches there, and then as you can see, a good 80% of the circle is nothing. And these are flat as can be, flat as can be. Here is a 5-inch quarter. Hitting it on tone a little bit crackly because of the iron and other lead and stuff in my soil. But the ID never goes above 5. It literally just stays 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a 6. So like Calabash Digger was saying on his video, if you're disking up to 5 and running it and you see it pop up to 6 real quick, that could be the indication of a target in there being masked by iron. I did not clean, there's no screws or anything like that, but I'm sure there's tiny microscopic bits of lead and iron just littered throughout here. According to the USGS survey, I live in a terrible area. So you can hear it, but nothing on the ID, and if you notice the horseshoe, it's going back and forth between ferrous and non-ferrous. So just to show you guys, I'm going to turn it off here, and let's go through some different settings here real quick. So let's go through the different preset modes. Here's basic 1, just set up standard. Nothing on the quarter. 5-inch quarter on basic 1, nothing. 5-inch nickel, nothing. 5-inch dime, nothing. Let's change the frequency back down. Oh, we're at 11.8 now when I went to basic, so let's go to 7.9. Nothing. And basic is, you know, while it says basic, don't be fooled. The basic program found me a 9-inch penny. That is the program that found me that 8 to 9 inch penny. And my TheHunterGT program was finding 8 to 9 inch coins as well. So do not let it fool you. I was, you know, almost midway up my forearm on a couple of these coins in the parks and schools where their soil is a little more mild in my backyard. And this is terrible soil, guys. Look at this. There's rocks and bits of crap in here. I mean, it's just terrible soil. I don't wish this on my worst enemy. And the grasses, or the schools and the parks with the grass, it gets a little, you know, it helps the dirt. It softens up the dirt, and it gives you a couple extra inches. So this backyard test here is the absolute worst conditions. Keep that in mind. So there we are. Let's go back here. Now we'll go into one of the other ones, like GM Power. Let's see GM Power. Well, it's reading something's there, but it's reading it as ferrous the whole time. I notice GM Power does that. The nickel, nothing. Reads it as ferrous as well on GM Power. And the dime, it reads it as ferrous as well. So nothing you'd want to dig. Let's go to Deus Fast. Little blips here and there. Nothing you'd want to dig on the ID. Still going ferrous on the horseshoe, and the XY menu is just all over the place on this. I would not dig any of these targets going by the horseshoe or the XY. The nickel there. Let's pump it into full tones here. Actually, let's go to a different one. So that's Deus Fast. Let's go to the deep one. There was Relic, Wet Beach, Dry Beach, Basic 2, Gold Field. Here we go, deep. So we're going to go into the menu here. Disc at 6.8 stock, sensitivity 90, frequency. So we'll just leave it on deep here. See what we can find. Still showing up as ferrous. Little pops on the nickel there. Still shows it up as ferrous. Now there was some other side of the horseshoe there. But as you can see, we're not getting beeps like we were when I was getting the coins in the videos. And you guys saw in the videos, I was getting coins 5, 6, 7 inches. Even that one coin on camera was like 8-9 inches at the school or park there. So you guys saw that this, in Colorado dirt, it will go deep 8-9 inches, and even at those parks and schools, that's probably a good 10 to 12 anywhere else. So yeah, you will find coins at just about the foot marker with this detector in just about any soil other than this right here in my backyard. And as you can see, I mean, up the hill over there, let me zoom in. I mean, look at those rocks and stuff. So that's what I'm dealing with right next to my yard here, is all these crazy rocks and stuff. I mean, it's just a nasty, nasty part of Colorado. And like I kicked a dead horse, the USGS survey says we have terrible lead and iron content here. I mean, it's just off the chart. So I like to see what the detector can do in this condition. So the Deus XP 5 inches is a no-go. I'm not going to dig them up and go to 4 inches. That's just silly. I'm not that interested to see if 4 inches is the great marker in my soil or anything. But just to prove it, guys, on camera here, let's go ahead, and this was the dime. So let's dig this sucker out. Nobody's gonna call me a cheater or a liar or anything like that. So there it is right there. There is the dime. Nope, I just dropped it. There it was right there at the bottom of that hole, which sits right there. And as you can see on my hory knife, I'm at the inch. The dime is touching the inch marker, and right there we are at 5 inches to the edge of the soil. So there's no BS here. There's the dime right there. The nickel's right here. Let's dig it. So I'm gonna dig this live. I don't want anybody saying HunterGT is full of crap. The Deus XP can definitely hit 5 inches in any soil. I don't care what you say, HunterGT. You're so dumb. Yeah, go ahead. So yeah, it's still there. 5 inches. There it is right there. So it's on its side. I moved it, but yeah, I made sure they were all flat when I dug them, just like that. So there is the 5-inch nickel. And then just to, yet again, to show you guys that I'm not full of crap, there is the quarter. You can see it right there. There is the quarter right there. So, and that hole, I can jam the knife into it, and it's still right there. 6 inches right there, because I just jammed the knife into it. But yeah, 5 inches. So there it is, guys. 5-inch quarter nickel dime. My backyard, the Deus XP cannot handle it. No detector has been able to yet, other than my wife's gold bug with a 5-inch freaking coil. It can hit 4 and 5-inch coins on that. ID's not perfect, but it will hit them. And that is a gold detector. So it amazes me that little 5-inch coil can penetrate this dirt so good compared to an 11-inch on a Deus XP. It just boggles my damn mind. That's why she finds all these damn coins and silver so easily, because of her damn gold bug, that woman. Anyways, let's go and get to the final thoughts here of this. It can't hit the coins in this. Am I disappointed? Absolutely not. My Land Ranger Pro couldn't. The Ace 400 couldn't. This XP Deus can't. The F44 couldn't hit 4 or 5 inches. So it is what it is. I'm not disappointed in any of those detectors. I did sell my Land Ranger Pro because it was not getting me that depth at the parks or anywhere around here. I just couldn't. The mineralization at the parks and schools here is pretty bad as well. So even those detectors at 5-6 inches, that's about it. You know, this one did get me coins at 8-9 inches multiple times, deeper than I've ever dug any target. So the proof is in the pudding. I love this detector. So here's my final thoughts. Here is my final thoughts, my review of it, my words of wisdom to it. I love this detector. I love that it's wireless. I love the weight. I love the LCD. I absolutely think the menu, the customizations that you can do to this detector is just basically unlimited. I mean, it is fantastic, the amount of configurations you can place in this and the programs that you can save in it and just fire them right up. It's awesome.
$1,200 though. The coil alone is $499. You have to send it back to replace the battery. Ridiculous. This LCD display, $499. Is it worth that? I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence there. I'd like to see it maybe at like $350 or something, and then I'd probably even be a buyer. You know, if this thing wasn't $1,200, if they'd market the one without this and the headphones at like $650 maybe instead of $799, and then the full setup at like $999. I mean, yeah, it's only $200, $300, but it's a lot. You know, it's a lot of money. This detector's worth $1,200, I think. I do think it is worth $1,200. I personally would not pay for it at $1,200. I'm a buyer at $900 to $1,000 maybe. $900's a good spot. It's not waterproof. It has no pad right here. I'm going to go over the negatives here. I think it should have had an arm cuff pad. What's up with that? Every detector has an arm cuff pad, and this thing's just hard plastic, and it gets damn hot. If you leave this thing sitting down for a couple minutes while you dig a target in the hot sun, and that goes back on your bare forearm, let me tell you, you're in for a treat. Huge negative right there. Huge negative. No pad on the grip. It's just like this rubber grip. I would have liked to have just a little foam pad or something like that. The display, it is a little bit small. There could be, some of the writing is quite tiny. It could be a little bit bigger. Scratches quite easily. I haven't scratched it, thank goodness, but you can just see the thumbprints on it are real good. It has been scratched by the previous owner. There are little nicks and pieces, you know, not pieces, but nicks and scratches in the LCD. Wish they'd use like some sort of Gorilla Glass or something like that for the money. I mean, the iPhones and everything else are doing it for $700. Why can't Deus put it on their detector? I do not like the fact you have to send it back in to change the battery. I'm sure somebody on YouTube has figured out a way to do it themselves. It does come with a little thing that you can put a AA into and charge your coil on the run. I think that's fantastic, in case you don't have a USB port handy, so pretty cool there. Yeah, not nose heavy at all, even with the 11-inch. I would love to use the 9-inch one day. I may buy this detector for $700, $799 someday if I can find one on sale, or if I can find it without the box, just borrow the box and load it into your headphones. I think that would be good enough, honestly. And then you can adjust things like sensitivity and dist to play with your soil and still adjust. I love this detector. It is by far the best detector I've ever had my hands on. But like I said, guys, $1,200. Is it for you? Probably not. For me, no. I'm gonna stick down into the 5-6 range, probably going with the Technetics T2 still, or maybe that F75 that came out for $599. Really looking forward to trying that out, so I may just hop on that and buy one. We'll see what happens. I'm really interested in the T2. I have been liking relic hunting a little more, but during the summer it's impossible out here. I really wanted to take this detector relic hunting. My apologies to you, local digger, that I didn't get that done. Just so hot. It is unbearably hot and just unbearably windy on the days I go out there, so no recording opportunities, unfortunately. But I hit up lots of parks, lots of schools. This thing is a coin magnet. It just hits coins deep, deep, deep. Gave up on a lot of targets that were probably pipes and cans. Struggled with bottled caps in the beginning as well. Definitely figured that out via the XY menu and just listening to the breaks and the tone and whatnot. You will learn it as well. 80, 90 hours on this machine. I wish I had another 300 on it, and then I'd feel probably like I was a master of it. I just feel maybe still at the intermediate level with it as of right now. So take this review with a grain of salt, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. The XP Deus from Loco Digger on TreasureNet. Thank you so much, my friend. You are just fantastic. I can't believe you sent this out to me to let me play with it. Another shout out to Bo Winkles for giving me the F44 and the Ace 400 to play with. A shout out to Tater Bill for sending me that 4-inch coil that couple weeks to play with. You guys are just fantastic friends. Never met any of you, just know you off TreasureNet. So go check out the TreasureNet forums. Say what's up to those guys. Tell them, hey man, thanks for sending Hunter your stuff. That's freaking awesome. You guys rock. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. XP Deus, a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Even though it can't hit those 5-inch coins in my dirt, no matter the frequency, no matter the setting change, it is a beast. It did get me 9, 10-inch pennies at the parks and the schools around here, and the soil there is not fantastically better by any stretch. So Colorado being a huge gold producing state, a huge mineral belt going through the state, yeah, it did damn good. damn good. 10 out of 10 for me, guys. If I had, Loco Digger got this on a deal, so if I had $1,200 to just blow right now, this would be my new detector, absolutely. Unfortunately, I live a budgeted life. I'm not Donald Trump, so T2 for me most likely, so keep an eye out for that Technetics T2 video in the next month or so. I'm going to be detectorless here for a while, just using my son's bounty hunter gold digger and my wife's gold bug until I get my next detector. Should be another month or so still. It keeps getting pushed back due to budget financial reasons. It is what it is. So alright guys, enough babbling. The Hunter GT signing off. I will see you on the next video.